Hi guys, Dogg here. We're back with Bradford Park Avenue on the road to glory. We're stuck for a fourth season in National League North and struggling to get away from the bottom half of the table. Things have been happening since the last episode. We've got a bit of a player revolt on, and I've had to transfer list some of the top players who are getting a bit fed up of the promises I'm making to them that we're going to strengthen the team and we're going to get challenge for promotion. Let's just run through them. 3 promises are made to Homer to sign his new contract for this season. He is now on the transfer list for £60,000 because he's had enough, he wants to leave. The same with Will Truman. He signed a new contract for next season, but he's unhappy now. The same thing for Zondo and Longbottom. Lots of players considering their options. Finn O'Boyle is one of them. Tom Sams and Sam Fielding. So a lot of contracts running out at the end of this season, and as I've said before, it's going to be a real rebuilding job, and I've decided we're going to do it with the young players and try and look for some experienced players to guide them along. May work, but we can't just keep going on with this situation trying to promise good players things that we can't deliver because we have no money. They won't even upgrade the training facilities, which is one of the promises that I made to Homer. There's also news that Harrison Hopper has left the club. He was wanting a transfer. Nobody was interested in him apart from Warrington at the bottom of the league, who offered him a contract, but he's turned them down. So we had to get rid of him. He was causing trouble and unrest in the dressing room, and we had to pay him £2,500 to terminate his contract. That has immediately caused Tom Sams to withdraw his unrest and dressing room atmosphere complaint. So that's money well spent in my opinion. But Harrison Hopper has left the club. So anyway, let's have a look at the results that we've had since the last time you were with us. So the last game was a 2-1 win away at Blythe, where we played really well. We got a 2-0 lead in the first half, a late goal from Blythe, but we hung on to end the rot of 4 successive defeats. After that one, we were at home to Stourbridge, who are below us in the table. I think they're in the relegation zone, and it was a boring 0-0 draw. 74 minutes before we saw the first highlight of the game. So we were good in defence. Dunstan 7.4, Fielding playing at right back 7.2, Homer 7.4, Tom Sams 7.7 being the man of the match, but we couldn't score. Both teams were good in defence and toothless up front. We were expecting to win that one. On to the next one, away to Scarborough. We drew 1-1. We took the lead through David Hamed in the 25th minute, and second half Michael Mellon got one back for them on 65. They were 9th in the league. They'd won 2 and drawn 3 of the previous 5 games, so on that it's a good result, especially after 20 minutes. Truman had to go off injured. Will Truman is out for the rest of the season, a bad injury, 7 to 9 weeks, but that will count him out for the rest of the season. Hamed and Macaulay 7.3 in that one. I think it was Macaulay got the man of the match. A good result at Scarborough. Next game was Spennymoor at home. You can see the formation there, it shows a 4-4-2. We changed to a diamond, bringing in Finn O'Boyle for the injured Will Truman. It didn't quite work. They opened the scoring first after 54 minutes, and Hamed again on the mark on 60. One thing we can claim to have done, top scorer Taylor was stopped from scoring against us. Must be a first time while I've been here that he's not scored. He's a really good player. He was that poor, he was subbed off and got a 6.1 mark. Good crowd for this one, 629. This was my 200th game in charge of the Avenue. Would like to have celebrated that with a win, but it wasn't to be. A very even game. Either side deserved to win, and that made us 11 points clear of the drop zone with 9 games to play. So I would more or less say we are safe based on normal ratios. If you have more points than games left, that's usually safe. We're not safe mathematically, of course, and some of these players are citing that when trying to renew the contracts, saying that they're not going to sign unless we are safe in the division. So after that one then, 3 successive draws after the win. The last game we played was Warrington away. Warrington, bottom of the league, and we went back to the 4-1-3-2 and we got a 1-0 win. A goal from Alex Williams, brought him in and played him in the attacking role that Will Truman was playing in, and he scored our goal after 27 minutes a header from Hamed, I think it was, that knocked it in. A good performance. We could have had more goals. Will Longbottom is being left out due to the fact that he's moaning about wanting to move, but he was back in the side and had a good game in this one. So we're coming to today's game, the big game, home game, derby against Guiseley. Let's have a look what side we are putting out today. So it's an unchanged team from last time then. Macaulay in goal, right back is Kwanzaa, central defence Sams and Bontahoma, and Ferguson, who's settled down and is playing some reasonable football now, left back. In front of them, deep line playmaker Sam Fielding, and the three in midfield, Longbottom on the right, Lovick on the left, and Williams coming into that attacking midfield role instead of the injured Truman. Up front, we've got Hamed and Zondo. Played well in the last game. He is one of the ones that's moaning about wanting to leave because I haven't strengthened up front. I did try to strengthen with him, but it hasn't worked out. So we're going in balance then. Custom gegenpress, the 4-1-3-2 that we've been using generally. On the bench then, we've got Barber, Dunstan, who was out suspended last game, Chiabi, Finn O'Boyle, who's been very poor recently, and Carter Denson is our other forward. So into this game then, they are second in the league, although they're a long way behind Boston and they've got no chance of winning it. As it stands in my head-to-heads against Guiseley, we've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 2, so it'd be nice to even that up with a 2-2-2 and get the second win against them. Into the game then, let's see if we can knock Guiseley off their perch. So the pre-match team talk is going to be what assistant Danny Bushell has recommended. Pump fist, we're doing well and we're on a good run, so let's keep this going, shall we? And that's had absolutely no effect whatsoever, but we're composed. Guiseley, a 4-4-2. Andrucci is their main man up front. Ex-Leeds United youth player, scoring goals for fun. So let's get into the game then, and we're off. Guiseley second in the league, as I said, they're 5-4 favourites for this one, and they had 4 games with no win, but they won the last game against Southport 4-0, but they've lost their last 5 away games, and of course we're on an unbeaten run of 5, but as you can see by the momentum on the right there, it's all Guiseley early on. Here we have the first highlight in the 27th minute, and Williams passes on to Nonto, break up their play. Nonto back to Longbottom. Longbottom is going to knock a ball in here. He is. Is that going to anywhere? Yeah, back to Nonto. Nondo. It's not Nonto. Thinking of the Leeds player. And shot over the bar there. First highlight, and we've had a shot on target, but we haven't seen that one. We just see the one off target. And there's another one. Ferguson heading over the bar. And not much happening really in the first half. 0.09 our chances have been, and they've had 2 on target, and it looks like it's going to be a goalless first half. 1 shot on target for us, 3 for them, and they are slightly edging it at the moment, although we've had the most of the possession. Most of the players are fairly motivated without any team talk. Alex Williams is looking nervous. Big game for him, I suppose. I bet he's not a big game player. And Zondo and Lovick 6.5, they're not playing so well either. So what we're going to say, Bosch is saying, I'm proud of everyone's effort so far, keep going, we can win this. I'm a bit inclined to go with, I think we've been lucky so far, you've done nothing wrong, and that's seemed to have motivated 1 or 2. Let's just have a word with Alex Williams, who's nervous. You weren't that bad, I believe you can improve, I have faith in you. We're going to say that one, and that's had no effect whatsoever. Alex Williams is still nervous. So let's go into the second half then and see if we can get a goal and open the scoring. So 52% possession, but nothing much happening at the moment. We're in charge. If we look at the momentum, we were in charge, and nothing much happening. A big crowd expected today. Here's a free kick for Guiseley. And Print, I've never heard of that saying before, and hits the post. I think he had it covered there. Macaulay had that covered, I'm sure. And what we're on, this game's running away with us, and it's Guiseley that are on top. Tom Sams looks like he's given everything. Let's see if we can sort things out a little bit. We're not gaining control in midfield. Williams is still 6.5 and apprehensive. Lovick 6.5. Zondo 6.2. I'm going to bring Charby in instead of Williams and swap those two over. Let's move Fielding. Make Charby anchor and Fielding deep line playmaker on support now. So we move Fielding a little bit further forward. Charby in. So 6.2 Zondo. I'm going to bring Carter Denson on for Zondo. And we're going to swap these round. We're going to make Hamed the poacher. I think it does better as a poacher. And Denson is better as an advanced forward. So change the partnership up front. Hopefully we can turn things around a little bit, because it's Guiseley who have the momentum, although they haven't had any. They've had 4 on target, but we've not seen so much. Abontoma looks like he's giving everything. We're into the final minutes. There's not much happened. All the shots have been Guiseley's, 12 to our 6. We'll bring our Boyle on for Lovick. Move him into his only position that he can play. Let's have him as attacking midfielder on attack. So that leaves it wide open on this left side for Ferguson. I'd rather have Quansah free. Let's move Longbottom over to the left side and put him on support. Let's play him as a winger on support. There's not long left. I'm going to go for it. We're going to go positive, and for the last few minutes, go for it. And nothing's happening. It's running away. It's there. Finding too much space. Tell him to mark him, but it's full time. It's another boring 0-0 draw. Not much action at all. With pace with where Guiseley are in the league. They've not won in the last 5 away games. But we've got to say that we should have done better than that. 1 shot on target and only 0.41. But a boring 0-0 draw. Let's see where that leaves us in the table and where we're going to come back for the next game. A good defensive performance from us. And teams cancelled each other out. So let's see where we are then. So it extends our unbeaten record to 6 games, 2 wins and 4 draws. And we're still in 17th position. We are 14 points clear of Hereford, who are 21st. With 7 games remaining. You've got to say, although not mathematically, we are safe with that. It would take some effort from Hereford and FC United to overhaul us, and 42 points really should be enough. Probably we're going to experiment a little bit, look at which youngsters we can bring through for next season. Guiseley, you can see, are second, but they're 15 points behind Boston. So no chance. Well, they've got a mathematical chance, but you wouldn't think they would do that. And they're definitely probably in the playoffs. They're 15 points clear of 8th place Scarborough. So it looks like Guiseley are going to be in the playoffs. Let's have a look at the final fixtures where we're going to come back. A crowd of 1526, so a decent crowd, bringing some money in for us. I got Hereford away last game. Yeah, we're going to come back for that one then. Unless anything happens drastically, we lose all these games. I'm going to play through all those and just come back for the Hereford final game of the season away from home. Hope you'll join me for that one. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. Turn on notifications. If you've got any comments to make, I'll answer everything that you send in. Thanks very much for watching. Dave Dogg for now. Goodbye.